Wake Up Call DT. We appreciate your patience this morning as Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora got set here from the Cafe Kubal studios to join you, and appreciate you as always for being here every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, where sports meets that thing called life. That is on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, as well as on facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, and being shared on facebook.com/live-now DT, and of course you're listening on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt and on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage where the MixLR feed is embedded. So, a proud welcome to the Cafe Kubal studios. Cafe Kubal here with you with locations all throughout central and upstate New York. You can find them at 3501 James Street, as well as 208 North Townsend Street, and on 401 South Salina Street, all in Syracuse. You can also find them at the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road in North Syracuse at Sweetheart Corners at their drive-through location. And you can find Cafe Kubal inside of Golisano's Children's Hospital and in downtown Syracuse. And, of course, out in Manlius, where we started off, where we had a show this week. Very excited to be able to do that. Had an awesome time out there with Jason Leone, the head coach of the Oswego State Lakers men's basketball program. Talked about a lot of different things, and Jason joined us from out on 343 Fayette Street in Manlius, that giant behemoth of a building that you cannot miss for Cafe Kubal as you come into the community of Manlius. It's basically like the Manlius Welcome Center is how I look at it. So definitely make sure that you go check them out there in Manlius as well. And I appreciate every single one of you for all that you do to support local and support the wonderful companies that support us. We are proudly supported by so many wonderful places, including Cafe Kubal, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, as well as Progressive Dental, Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, Avicoli's, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, Canine Kampground Dog Boarding, Pizza Man, Lemoyne Dolphins, the Millhouse Market, Honda City of Liverpool, PB&J's Lunchbox, Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, as well as Mother's Cupboard. And you can also connect with us in a very special way in the wonderful opportunities that we have as the multimedia marketing partner of the Lemoyne Dolphins, as well as the multimedia marketing partner of Marywood University and the Marywood University Pacers. So make sure that you find your way to each and every single thing that we do. The easiest way to do it is to go to wakeupcalldt.com and subscribe, and make sure you bookmark our website there, because you'll be able to pick up really everything just by being connected to wakeupcalldt.com. So, with that being said, jam-packed show here today. The annoying moment of the week coming up in just a moment, where sports meets that thing called life. Then we'll hop in, and that is proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt. Then we'll hop into Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver, brought to you by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. And then we'll give our announcement of our top dog of the week this week, proudly presented by Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. And we'll round out today's show with 4 conversations, 2 with Syracuse football, 2 with Syracuse basketball, as we get set to continue the Syracuse football season with 5 games to go here in the regular season for the Orange, and 3 needed of those 5 to get them bowl eligible, as they are currently 3-4. And then we'll get into what is to come here for Syracuse basketball, as I have the opportunity to speak with Buddy Boeheim and Bourama Sidibe in conversations never before seen. Got to do them down in Charlotte, North Carolina at ACC Tip-Off. I have so many things coming up next week for you for ACC Tip-Off, and this is some bonus awesome footage that I have the opportunity to share with you. So definitely make sure that you check it out here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. Very much looking forward to those conversations with Airon Servais and Josh Black of Syracuse football, Buddy Boeheim and Bourama Sidibe of Syracuse basketball, ahead of Syracuse's media day for Orange basketball, which is happening later on today. And then there's going to be a fan event where you can come out to the Dome and have some fun, one of those Orange Fest type things. So we get to do that as well today, which I'm very much looking forward to. So all of that's coming up here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of Ma and Pa's Popcorn.com. That's Ma and Pa's Popcorn.com. You can go there anywhere in the country and have it shipped to you to your doorstep. maandpauspopcorn.com. Use the promo code DT20. That's DT20 for 20% off at checkout at maandpauspopcorn.com. With so many things to watch, you got to have that trusted buddy, that kettle corn or popcorn right there by your side. You know, they say get your popcorn ready, so make sure that you get your popcorn ready today by going to maandpauspopcorn.com and ordering from them. With that being said, let's hop into the first piece of today, the annoying moment of the week.
Dan Tortora proudly brings you...
Is that for real? Are you kidding me?
The annoying moment of the week.
I really, honestly, I don't know how to respond to this.
Presented by Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street. It's what happy tastes like.
You have to be that crazy. I guess so. The annoying moment of the week for this week. Well, folks, it was an easy one for me to figure out. The annoying moment of the week. I don't know if you can see it here. You probably can't see it that much. Or you can see it somewhat. That cut there on my hand. Not crazy or anything like that. I got locked out on my back porch. And in order to try and get back into my home, I had to do some interesting things, which involve like putting my body, literally like my body, my person, in between stuff, and was not desirable, and ended up, I'm okay, you know, I'm totally okay, but, you know, cut my hand, I'm okay, I cut my hand a little bit, my wrists, and it got a little tight, my back, my neck got a little tight, but yeah, I mean, basically the annoying moment of the week is when your screen door comes off its hinge and you have to fix it, and then you go and you're doing something, and then you forget, oh geez, I can't, you know, shut this all the way because this is not working. And you know how this all started? This all started with the spider that was too big that I could read its name tag. So to go back to annoying, see, this is the thing with the annoying moments of the week. If you listen every week, you could pick up the annoying moment of the week, and, you know, it's seamless that, okay, I missed last week, but I can listen this week, and I can pick up the annoying moment of the week. And yeah, you can, and that's fine. But they're also connected. They're like episodes on a sitcom. So as much as you can watch them and get things from them and be like, oh, okay, I didn't see all the episodes, but I could still understand it. At the same time, it means more when you go back and watch them all and listen to them all, because they are connected. Because my annoying moment of the week a few weeks back was this spider that I could read his entire name tag. And that affected my screen, and my screen coming off affected the door, and then the door affected me being, you know, put in a situation where I was locked out, and then that put to this annoying moment of the week where I had to contort my body and do some really interesting things to try and figure it all out. So that is my annoying moment of the week for this week. And my other annoying moment of the week, somebody brought up to me that high school, you know, situation, the fact that name, image, and likeness can spread to high schools. And, you know, what do I think of that? And, you know, I mean, to me, these are little kids. You know, these are little kids. And we're really creating a society where you're not going and getting a job and, like, working with other people. And it's a kind of a dangerous road for me. That it's like, okay, you know, it's creating a very me-centric world to say, okay, well, you go make money by yourself, and you go make money. And listen, I'm an entrepreneur. I do make money by myself, you know, so I get that. But what I'm saying is, you know, for kids, you know, I kind of sit here and say to myself, do I really want a 14-year-old out there, you know, selling their name, image, and likeness? And, you know, listen, if things are done the right way, I can look at it, but I'm thinking about if I had a child right now, and they were 14 years old, you know, I don't want them having an agent and, you know, dealing with millions of dollars and this, that, and whatever. I mean, it's hard because there's so many avenues to different things, and yeah, you want your kids to succeed, and yes, some parents would be saying, hey, I got 4 kids, if they could all go out there and get some name, image, and likeness deals, I don't have to pay for their food, you know. But you don't want somebody to grow up too fast, you know. And I feel like we've lost the art of childhood. We've lost the art of going and playing outside. We've lost the art of talking to total strangers. We've lost, we've lost that art in our society of just being a kid and recognizing what being a kid did for us. How being a kid allowed you to have an imagination. How being a kid helped you to, see things. I mean, when you're little and you're growing up, hate is taught and love is taught. You know what I mean? And so, I think we have to be careful about how we expose people to the world and in what way. You know what I mean? I don't mean shelter your kids, but I mean just we have to be smart. And this is such a big discussion that I know I can't have the whole discussion today, here on one show, one segment. I feel that we really need to take the time to think about what we're doing as a society, and how we're choosing to attack the day, and how we're choosing to treat our kids and treat situations that arise. I don't know if we've really done a great job as an overall society in America of really teaching people how to earn their keep. Teaching people how to make their own decisions. Teaching people to not just take what is told to them, but to ask questions and to inquire and to learn. I think there are opportunistic people that are seeking to control in this world, and I feel like people are easily controlled when they're given the thought of prominence, the thought of popularity and money. And, popularity and money go a long way in coercing people to do things that maybe don't make any sense and maybe are not healthy and maybe are not good and maybe are very controlling. So I think we need to be very, very steadfast in how we attack the day and in how we work together and in what we do and in what we allow. So I think the annoying moment of the week for me is I don't want a society that's becoming ever more individualistic, because when a society becomes individualistic, you don't care about your neighbor. When you don't care about your neighbor, you're willing to do things that are not great. And I think when you care about your neighbor, I'm going to put it to you like this. When I had issues this week, my neighbor was there for me. And I was in a situation where here I am, I'm frustrated, I'm locked out, I got this, that, and whatever going on. And my neighbor gave me their phone to use, gave me a bottle of water, invited me into their home, offered me a jacket, gave my dog something to, gave my dog water to drink out of, had me sit and relax, literally led me through the whole process. Do you need anything from me? Is there anything that, you can utilize? Are you hungry? Like, you know what I mean? It was, give me your tired, give me your poor, give me your, you know what I mean? It was that notion of, my neighbor gave me water to drink, gave me shelter, gave me clothing, gave me, the means to communicate with my family, cared for my dog. There was this respect and this kindness and just genuine goodness that I saw. So yeah, anybody could say this is a really annoying moment to be locked out of your house or to be in a situation, it's cold outside, you want to get inside, I was supposed to record something, I'm supposed to do something, and, there's all this stuff that I was really excited to do and things that I was excited to, be a part of. And that was frustrating to me, to be in a situation where, here I am cold, here I am tired, here I am, frustrated. And I wanted to be inside. I wanted to relax. I wanted to get a good night's rest. I wanted to, talk to some people on my phone and catch up and see how things are going. And I wanted to record my show. And, Yet here I am, in a situation that wasn't ideal. And in a non-ideal situation, what happened? Somebody reached out their hand to help me. Somebody was there who didn't have to be, who doesn't have any connection to me. Someone reached out to virtually a stranger and offered to help and offered to just be there out of the goodness of their heart and nothing else. They gained nothing monetarily. They gained nothing materialistically. The only thing that they did was help somebody out of the goodness of their heart. So, yeah, it started out as what could have been an annoying moment, but it turned out to be a sign that there are good people out there. And not only are there good people out there, but there's blessings all around. We'll take a step aside for a fast break. When we come back, Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-Lib, and Deliver. Proudly presented by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay. I know last week and this week you're like, where's Juanita? Well, Juanita and her family are dealing with the passing of a loved one, very near and dear to their heart. And so Juanita asked me if I could do this for the next couple weeks as she works on some things there. And so I have nothing but love and appreciation and respect and the desire for Juanita to be okay and stay okay. So it is totally with gratitude and appreciation and a very heartfelt promise that I will bring you Lead, and hopefully the spirit of Juanita will be with me as we do that right after this fast break.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt. Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Cafe Kubal offers same-day local delivery of our products, offering no delivery charge for Onondaga County. Shop cafekubal.com for fresh roasted coffee beans, cold brew, travel mugs, and all your essential Cafe Kubal needs. Cafe Kubal, coffee for the soul.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. It is now time for me to jump into Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad-lib, and Deliver. It is my honor and my privilege to be able to do this segment, a segment that I hold so near and dear to my heart, a segment that began right before the pandemic hit America. We started in December of 2019. Something inside of me, something that God must have put there, was it was just there to do this segment called LEAD. It was an acronym, and learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver. And I just felt the need to do it, and here we are. Here we are with this opportunity to bring you this segment and to bring you something that I that I truly feel every single week can be a pick-me-up, can be a helper. We do need to learn how to lead. We do need to know how to learn, to evolve, ad-lib and deliver. And in each one of those things, learning something, evolving in our lives, ad-libbing through life, and delivering on our promises to ourselves and to others. Delivering on being who we are and coming through. When people say he came through, she came through. I think that's important to be able to do that and to do that. So I think, this segment lead, I know this segment lead is a very close one to my heart, and it means a lot to me because there's a lot that we are trying to bring forward through this. So with that being said, we learn, evolve, ad-lib, and deliver here in lead. Today's topic is appreciating your blessings. And it kind of connects to, very much connects to the Annoying Moment of the Week, proudly presented by Carvel DeWitt, where we just talked about your blessings. Talked about the fact that I could have had a really annoying moment of the week. I could have had a really frustrating time outside and cold and tired and, trying to, do certain things and see if certain things worked and, putting stress on my back and stress on my neck and stress on my wrists and stress on my hands. And, it would be easy to say, you know what, that day stunk. I'm pissed. I'm mad. There's everything is bothering me. But my neighbor came through, and my neighbor was a true blessing to me. So, I think what my takeaway in the Annoying Moment of the Week is a blessing came from a stressful time, and having that relationship with God and trying to work on myself. I see that now more than I maybe would have seen it in the past. I would have seen it, but maybe I would have let things bother me too much. Maybe I would have worried too much. Maybe I would have questioned too much. And this time around, I said, I didn't have a bad day. Yeah, it's not ideal, but I didn't have a bad day. I thought of the positives. Lily was locked out with me, so she wasn't in the house scared. She wasn't by herself. Lily was with me. And my parents work together. When it comes to me, they work together. And my mom, very loving and caring. My dad, very loving and caring. And helping me, to make sure I get back in the house and have a good night's rest and be safe and sound. My neighbor, with all the great things that he did. And I obviously spoke about that in the Annoying Moment of the Week. So all of those blessings, the fact that I had a friend that reached out to me that was concerned about me. Said, it's not like you to not get back in touch with me. So, they were concerned and reached out and wanted to make sure I was okay. And then hearing messages the next day. Hey, Dan, rest. Hey, Dan, take a break. Dan, you have every right to take a moment for yourself. You have every right to, rest and take care of yourself. And that meant a lot to me too, coming from them. So there was all of these beautiful things that happened through this. And it was just very, very meaningful to me. Appreciating your blessings. Appreciating, my birthday was yesterday. And the amount of messages, and I will get back to all of your messages, folks. I take the time to respond to each of you individually because you took the time to reach out to me individually. And so I like to send you all back messages and, personalize and let you know that I thank you, specifically you, for your kindness. So, I got a ton of great phone calls yesterday and text messages and messages on Facebook and all this stuff about my birthday. And so appreciating your blessings. My birthday was incredible. I'm going to continue to celebrate this weekend. I had very thoughtful gifts come from people. I had, and not that material anything matters. It was just it was thoughtful. It showed that people listen and people care, and that means a lot to me. So I'm just really, really thankful for the people in my life I'm thankful for the incredible kindness of people that reached out to me, like I said, through social media and whatnot, to wish me a happy birthday. You know, there was some really cool things that happened on my birthday, some very nice messages that came through from people. And, you know, I do. You know, I think you got to take the time to appreciate your blessings. You know, you have to take the time to say thank you. I mean, how can I read through all these happy birthdays and not see that, you know, you're touching lives in a positive way, you're trying to do good in this world, you're trying to help in this world, and that it's getting through and that people are seeing it and people are appreciating it. You know, my lady put up an incredible post yesterday that meant a lot to me. You know, my best friend put up an incredible post. My mom put up an incredible post. One of my nieces put up an incredible post. You know, and so you look at life and you say to yourself, Daniel, look at these messages. You know, look at these things that have come through. Look at these people that took the time to reach out to you on your special day. And be thankful, because we get caught up in, you know, negativity, and we get caught up in things that frustrate us and piss us off. And, you know, why did this person break up with us? Or why did this job not work out? Why is there traffic? Why don't I have money for this? Why does this cost so much? Why did I have to fix this? Why is this tire doing this? Why can't I do that? Why didn't they come on time? Why? Instead of taking a step back and going, hey, I'm alive to be in traffic. I could be dead right now, but I'm alive and I'm in traffic. No, I may not have found the one yet, but, you know, in my case, in my past, I have gone through a lot of not the ones, but it's also given me an entire awesome, really cool comedy library that I can utilize and you know, hopefully get other people to laugh and relax and enjoy their lives. So there's so many good things that can come from things that we think are bad. Appreciating your blessings, it's an art to stop and say thank you. Hey, God, I've had a fantastic week. I have nothing to complain about, so I haven't talked to you. No, you don't want to say that. You don't want to say, hey, God, I didn't have anything to complain about, so that's why we didn't talk. God wants you to come. I would imagine God wants you to come and say hello when everything's good, when everything's trying, and when it's somewhere in the middle, when it's a mixed bag. You know, is my life perfect? No, nobody's life is perfect. But is my life awesome? Absolutely. Have I had blessings happen recently that I thought maybe were never going to show themselves? Yes. You know, I think appreciating your blessings is one of the healthiest things you can do mentally, is to remember, you know, on those hard days, like my mom said, put this stuff in your pocket, you know, Daniel. Remember what you're hearing. Remember what people are telling you about who you are and what you've done, because this is who you are and what you've done. You know, sometimes people try to tell you who you are and it's mean. Sometimes people try to tell you to do nothing. Sometimes people say very negative things. But when people say those really, really positive things that you know are true in your heart, my mom said, hold on to those. Hold on to those. Remind yourself that what you're doing is working, that people are seeing it, that people are enjoying it, that people get who you are and respect who you are. Appreciating your blessings is a beautiful, beautiful art, because it's not always something that we readily do. But imagine if we could change the human condition, that instead of, you know, from thinking so negatively to thinking positively. If we could really adjust the human condition to being positively minded, positively set, positively looking forward. Could you imagine? It's so easy to hear 1,000 positive things, one negative thing, and focus on the negative thing. Who cares about the negative thing? What is the negative thing? You know what I mean? And a lot of times it's people's opinions. You can't change them. And sometimes people take those opinions just to piss you off, just to see if they can get under your skin, just to bother you. Sometimes they say things that may make absolutely no sense just to see what you'll do, just to get a rise out of you, just to push you. And I'll tell you something. There's not a positive person on this planet that does that. There's not a good person on this planet that does that. Good people, positive people, people who are enjoying their lives and doing their best, they don't kick people. They don't punch people. They don't want to see people upset. They don't want to see people sad. I don't want to see anybody sad. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. I don't want to see anybody sad. I know it happens. I know I get sad. But my sad moments are few and far between. And that's because I don't want myself to be sad, right? I don't want myself. And God's been great, of course. But I don't want to be sad. I could have sat there on my birthday and said my grandparents aren't here. I'm sad. Now, are my grandparents all in heaven? Yeah, I believe so. I know they are. Am I sad that they're not here? Of course I'm sad that they're not here. Of course I'm sad that they're not here. But they were here physically. And because God blessed me with them, you don't miss something that wasn't great. You don't miss something that wasn't good. You don't miss something that wasn't fruitful. So by sheerly missing them, I'm admitting to myself that I'm a very blessed kid. And by missing them, it means that I had them here. And I still believe they're with me every day. So, appreciating your blessings here in Lead, Learn, Evolve, Ad Lib, and Deliver, brought to you by Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, means on the darkest days to remember what you're thankful for. And on the brightest days to remember to be thankful. That when everything's going well and you don't have a care in the world, to say thank you. Because it wasn't always like that. And it may not always be like that. And life is not always sunshine and rainbows. But think about this. Think about this. Just think about it for a second when we talk about your blessings. Life is not always sunshine and rainbows. What do you get before you get sun? Darkness. Complete darkness. What do you have to get in order to get a rainbow? Rain. So when they say life is not always sunshine and rainbows, if life was always, when they say life is not always sunshine and rainbows, in order to get to the rainbows, in order to get to the sunshine, you have to go through the rain, you have to go through the storm, and you have to go through the darkness. You can't get the light without going through the darkness. You can't get the beautiful rainbow without going through the storm. We want to get to the package underneath the tree. But you have to walk through the forest to get there. Most of us are not just given things. They're not just given a house. Oh, here's your house. Here's a car. Here's this, here's that. You have to work for it. You have to work for it. And when you have to work for it, it teaches you, hopefully, an appreciation for hard work, dedication, determination, belief in yourself. Hopefully, when you go through the adversity, you appreciate the road. Because it's frustrating. It is. And there are times where there was nothing that I felt like I could tell myself. But blessings are always there. I tell people all the time, did you have a bad day? Oh, I had a horrible day, Dan. Could you call somebody to talk about it? Yeah, I called my best friend. We talked about it for like 3 hours. She let me vent. Then you didn't have a bad day. What do you mean? I had a horrible day. No, you had somebody to call and tell that day to. You didn't have a horrible day. You have a best friend who sat for 3 hours, probably in silence, for most of it, and listened to you talk about your life. You had somebody who cared, somebody who was there, somebody who wants the best for you, and somebody who took time out of their day that they'll never get back. Time is something you can never get back, and they gave it to you because they love and they care about you and they want you to be happy. So you really didn't have a bad day. You had some non-ideal situations, but you had somebody to talk to about it. I tell people that all the time. If you had somebody to talk to about your bad day, you didn't really have a bad day, because you have the blessing of a loved one that cares about you. And the alternative of sitting in traffic is, what if you were dead? Then you wouldn't have to sit in traffic, but you wouldn't be alive. You know what I mean? And so everything to me is really looking through that eyeglass of, are you happy that you woke up today? Are you thankful that you woke up today? Are you thankful for the people that are in your life? Are you thankful for the people the person you woke up next to? Are you thankful for the people in your home? Are you thankful for your dogs and your cats and your birds? Are you thankful for the trip you got to take? You know, oh, I got to take a 5-day trip, but my other buddy, he works, he makes more money, he got to take an 8-day trip. How about the fact that you got to take a trip? Be it 1 day, 2 days, 5 days, 8 days, 100 days. You got to take a trip. What's the real issue? Well, I hate my job. Okay, well then find another one. Well, Dan, it's not easy. No, it's not. But if you hate going back there every single day, why would you live your life doing what you hate, doing what you hate, doing what you hate, doing what you hate? That sounds insane. That sounds absolutely insane to me. But I'm one of those people that's going to fight. I'm one of those people that's going to get out there and give my all, because I want to enjoy my day and I want to make the most of it. I don't want my birthday to be the only day where, you know, I have fun and focus on what matters to me. That would be crazy. One day, an entire year that I'm going to be nice to myself? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, appreciating your blessings, it means that when things aren't going your way and things aren't great and things don't make sense and you're super impatient, to stop and say thank you. To stop and say I appreciate it. To stop and say, God, you know what? I'm not happy with this, but I'm alive to talk to you about it. You exist for me to talk to you about it. I exist to talk about it. So oftentimes we focus on what we don't have instead of focusing on what we do. And I think that when you take a step back and you focus on the fact and say, like, you know what? My mom's alive. My dad's alive. I'm alive. My friend's alive. My sister, my brother. I just had a great trip. I just got to go to Disney for the first time. I just went to Hawaii. My company made it through the pandemic. I made it through the pandemic. I'm healthy. I'm okay. I just had a birthday. And I'm still celebrating. There are so many moments and so many things that can take you out of that hole that you dig for yourself. But you have to be cognizant of when you're digging the hole. You have to have the training of yourself to stop digging that hole. So you have to be cognizant that you're digging it. You have to have the self-control to stop. To ask yourself, what am I doing? And to have the things to remind yourself of why life is beautiful. Why life is great. We don't want anybody that we love to pass away. We don't want to lose the job that we really like. We don't want the girl or guy that we ask out to say no. We don't want there to be traffic. We don't want there to be a pandemic. We don't want there to be adversity of any kind. We don't want our kids to be bullied. We don't want our kids to fall on the ground and hurt themselves. We don't want somebody to say something mean about us to our face or behind our back. But all those things happen. So what are we going to do? Are you going to appreciate your blessings? Are you going to appreciate the things that God has put in your life? The things that you've worked really hard for with God? Are you going to appreciate what you have? And let that be something? Or are you going to waste your time worrying your life away? Because again, You can't get time back. So how you spend it today is extremely important. So treat people good. Treat animals good. Treat nature well. Treat yourself well. And remember today, when you have a moment of strife, a moment of adversity, remind yourself of something in your life that you're blessed to have, that you appreciate so much. And it may be hard to do today, but it'll become a habit. And you'll start saying thank you a lot. And you'll start appreciating. Now, some of the things we're thankful for are people and animals. They don't live forever. Doesn't mean when they pass away we don't appreciate them. And it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt when they pass away. My grandmother lived to be almost 101. Gee, Mama. I love both my grandmothers. I love my grandfathers. All of them are in heaven. Yeah. Am I happy that they're not here? No. Is it sad and you miss them? Yeah. But I got to have them. I got to spend a second with these incredible people. And I love them dearly. And so it's hard. It's hard sometimes when our blessings pass away, or our blessings go away, or we think they go away. But I had the blessing of going to Disney last month into this month. And just because I'm back home, does that mean I lost the blessing? No. It'll live on forever. It's always there in my heart and in my mind. So you can always go to that blessing and say thank you. Don't live in a world where you need to be every day. I need to be blessed. I need to be blessed. Somebody needs to give me something, give me something, give me something. Because then you have a pile of stuff that you don't even play with. Nobody needs to give you anything, and nobody owes you anything. But the people that choose to love you, the animals that choose to love you, the God that chose to love you and create you, those people, those animals, that God, appreciate them. And appreciate yourself and the time that you have. Yesterday for my birthday, I ate food, I watched a movie, I laughed, I talked on the phone, I got messages, and it was an incredibly great birthday. I didn't have to do anything crazy. I didn't have to eat anywhere crazy. Nobody had to give me a ton of money. Nobody had to do anything insane. All I wanted and hoped for was that I'd be alive, that I'd be healthy, and for me to remember my blessings. And then I just had the hope that the people and the trust that the people that love me the most were going to be a part of my day with me. And they were. And that means a lot. So I know it's not always easy. And I know it doesn't always make sense. And I know that there's days I've come onto this show and I've been pissed and upset and sad and didn't know what to tell myself. But I still got up and I did the show. I was here. Because I do what I love and I love what I do, and that's in my control. And I appreciate my life, and that's in my control. So, appreciate your blessings. Take the time to take the time. Yeah, you might not want to drive here. Yeah, you might not want to wait here. Yeah, you may not want to do this. Yeah, you may not want to do that. But at the end of the day, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Be good to yourself and be good to each other. There's a lot of blessings to be had. And there's a whole lifetime to appreciate them. So don't ever stop. We'll take a step aside for a fast break. When we come back, we'll announce our top dog of the week for this week. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638 1234 or order online at pizzamanbeville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville beats. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you.
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. He kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
Our corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success in Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also I think we recognized that, we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career. It's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt, of course on Facebook Live on facebook.com/live-now-dt, and on facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, and on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, all inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. Proud to be here with you, hanging out where sports meets that thing called life, and I hope you're having yourselves a fantastic day today. So much love and much appreciation to each and every single one of you here from Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora Broadcast Media, and all that we do with all my company stuff, Super Powered Pop, Dan on Disney, Comic Book Trails, and so on and so forth. So much love sent to each and every single one of you today, and I hope that even in the toughest of times, even with someone passing away, even with something not working out that you wanted to work out, even with frustration and negativity coming your way, that you'll appreciate your blessings and that you can speak to yourself in such a positive way, in a good way, at times where you need to have that healthy voice, because we always need it. The reality is we always need the healthy voice. So remember to be good to you And I appreciate y'all so very much. With that being said, top dog of the week. Time to announce it inside the Cafe Kubal Studios. The top dog of the week coming to you inside of ModPawsPopcorn.com's What's Poppin', and proudly brought to you by K9 Camp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding. Let's unveil this week's top dog. Top dog of the week this week, the American Athletic Conference. That's right, folks. The American that has gone through realignment. In my opinion, nobody was affected more than the American Athletic Conference going through realignment back around 2011, 2012 time when the American was the Big East, and the Big East Conference had football and basketball and the Olympic sports and so on and so forth. And then there was the decision by Syracuse and Pittsburgh and Louisville to join the ACC, and Notre Dame to join the ACC. Notre Dame obviously joining for every sport except for football, but to leave the Big East and join the ACC. With that decision and all of the other situations that went on in the realignment around the country, the American Athletic Conference, then the Big East, was left with just Cincinnati, which didn't feel like a Big East school, South Florida, which didn't feel like a Big East school, and UConn, which did feel like a Big East school, and Temple coming back into the conference, which felt like, you didn't really know how to feel because they were coming in and then realignment was happening. So, you couldn't really welcome them in and say, oh, this is a member, this is a part of the family, because it was like this weird, Temple's coming back in at a time where things are being lost. The Big East was looking at the time to add Boise State and San Diego State. They were also looking at adding TCU. All of that fell through, and the Big East eventually left with the Catholic Seven. They took the name. Mike Oresco, who was the Big East commissioner, became the commissioner of a conference that didn't exist, that had no name, that had no logo, and he, with his team, put together the American Athletic Conference, which went through so much turmoil, and like I said, was just ripped apart, arguably the most in realignment, and affected in such a way that Mike could have gave up. This entire team could have said, you know what, we only got 4 schools left, let them go wherever they want to go, this is going to take too much to build. Well, they didn't do that, and they went and they built the American Athletic Conference. In the American Athletic Conference, they designed the logo. They called it the American in a very fitting and smart way, because you didn't put a number on it. So now, if you lose a school or gain a school, you don't have to change the name of it. On top of that, you also don't put a region, because these regions don't make logical sense anymore when you see certain teams coming into the Pac-12 that are in the Midwest, and the Pac-12 being a West Coast conference. So seeing something like that, there's been changes that have happened here, and I can appreciate and respect the fact that the American wanted to be dubbed the American. Any team in America can be a part of the conference if it fits their model and what they're trying to do. Any team in America can join someone who represents America, a conference that represents what was America built out of. America was built out of breaking away from overlords and rising up and saying, you know what, we're going to start our own thing. We are going to be ourselves. We are going to find our autonomy. We are going to find our place. We are going to find our message, and we are going to control our destiny. And the American Athletic Conference has done that as they work toward autonomy, work toward controlling their destiny, and have worked to have an identity. All of those things scream America to me, and that's why I'm proud of the American Athletic Conference. With SMU, Houston, Cincinnati, Tulsa, East Carolina, Temple, Memphis, UCF, Navy, South Florida, and Tulane there for the sport of football. All of those for all sports except for Navy, that's just in for football, and Wichita State, that's in for all sports except for football. To build this conference out of just having 3 schools and 1 coming in, and Temple having 4 schools there, to build what they built and to get to 12 was an amazing feat. And now, through realignment, Houston, Cincinnati, and UCF decide to go to the Big 12. So how does the American Athletic respond when they lose those 3 teams? And UConn's already decided to be independent. You had 12 in football. Now you have 11. 3 are leaving, now you got 8. What did they do? They added 6. UAB, Charlotte, FAU, North Texas, Rice, University of Texas San Antonio, UTSA. Lose 4, gain 6. The American Athletic Conference once again has proven that if you throw them into the fire and you think they'll burn, that fire will only ignite them, ignite their dream, ignite their mission, ignite their determination, ignite their dedication, ignite their desire to show who they are, build an identity, rise above, create autonomy, and be a story that people can look back upon and see that in the midst of adversity, in the midst of turmoil, in the midst of negativity, in the midst of strife, something beautiful can happen. The American Athletic Conference didn't just do it once when they brought the schools in and got to 12, but they did it twice when they brought in storied program Wichita State. And they've now done it a third time in losing 3 after losing UConn and bringing in 6. The American Athletic Conference continuously responding to adversity with positivity, growth, elevation, evolving, ad-libbing, delivering on a promise, and leading and learning. So it makes perfect sense that they're the top dog of the week, and it makes perfect sense that they followed the segment lead. Because they are learning, evolving, ad-libbing, and delivering on their promises. And granted, other conferences around the country, in order for the American to get something, somebody has to lose something, because somebody's always getting and losing and moving around. And so it's tough to go through this. Conference USA and different teams out there. And I pray and I hope for the success of every conference. I pray and I hope for the Sun Belt. I pray and I hope for Conference USA. I pray and I hope for the American Athletic, the ACC, the SEC, the Big 12, the Big 10, and so on and so forth. Because I want to see everybody succeed. I said to my buddy yesterday, why would you want to be the only one that gets to eat? Right? You know, when they say you're successful, you eating, you get to eat. Why would you want to be the only person eating? That means you're at the table by yourself. You got no company. That means you're sitting at a big, long table eating by yourself. But if everybody eats, now you're at the table eating and they're eating, and you get to celebrate together. You get to have fun together. Why would you want to eat alone? Now, Conference USA, with these changes, will be left in the East with Marshall, Western Kentucky, Middle Tennessee State, where Scott Schaefer is, Florida International, and Old Dominion. In the West, they will have UTEP, Louisiana Tech, and Southern Miss. So now Conference USA will have to build once again. With them losing 6, it leaves their conference that had 14. Now they have 8. So now they're where the American was. So they can make a phone call and try to work some things out with some of the other teams out there that are independent. They could also try to work some things out with some other conferences that are out there. Or they could pull from Division I AA and try to expand, bring in some of these FCS schools. Because some schools inside of college athletics right now used to be in the FCS for football, Division I AA, that have moved up. So, Conference USA and some other conferences out there, they can look to some of these teams. The Dakotas have been extremely effective and positive. You can pull a football team like Villanova, knowing that their history in basketball is massive, so that name carries a lot of weight. So you can make a phone call there. Like I said, the Dakotas, you can make those phone calls. You can make a phone call to the Duquesnes of the world and pull in a place like Pittsburgh. You can look at the success of some other schools that have been out there before that have found their way to elevate themselves and rise. You could find some teams like the Butlers and the Daytons in the East Tennessee states and see what you could do with that. You can look at the Jackson State team that has Deion Sanders and see if that entices you to come bring into Conference USA. So there are moves to be made. And there is somebody who lost after the American gained, after the American lost. But the American is the top dog of the week because I have been with them through this entire time, almost a decade. And I saw a group of people that could have laid down and admitted defeat. I saw a group that could have said, you know what, whatever, just let the other schools go where they want to go. We're done. We're washed up. There's nothing to see here. They didn't give up. They didn't give in. They hustled. They believed. They worked hard. They were dedicated. They were determined, and they became successful because they never gave up on themselves, and they ad-libbed like crazy, and they continue to do that. So they're my top dog of the week this week, brought to you by Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding for all of those reasons. Because they never quit. And somehow, some way, following the news of Houston and Cincinnati and UCF leaving, which was heartbreaking, they gave hope. They gave me something positive to smile about, and they did it on my birthday, October 21st of 2021, which is pretty cool. And now I'll have that forever with the American. So shout out to the American Athletic Conference and all that you've done and you continue to do. Shout out to your fearless leader, Mike Oresco, and to the entire team, Chuck Sullivan and Bernie and everybody out there. We appreciate you. I thank you for your time, and I thank you for your hard work. And I just want people to remember, UCF wasn't given respect. Houston wasn't given respect. Cincinnati wasn't given respect. And now all of a sudden, y'all are happy. Oh, Big 12's getting Houston. Ooh, Big 12's getting. It's just amazing how things work, and how things, how people can have opinions, and those opinions will shift. UCF's garbage. Oh, they don't play in this. Oh, they don't. Oh, we're getting UCF. Oh my gosh, that's such a great program. They're great. Look at how many games that they won. Look what they've done. Look at them. It's amazing how the reasons why you wouldn't defend them are now the reasons why you're defending getting them. That's crazy to me, but that's what life looks like when you're ignorant, when you're hypocritical, and when you follow the pack instead of making your own decisions. It's easy to make a judgment call and say, oh, well, the Americans knew. Oh, this is that. Well, everybody tells you don't like the Big 12. Well, you didn't respect UCF, but now you can't wait for them to join the Big 12. Cincinnati didn't mean anything to you, but now all of a sudden Cincinnati's relevant. Houston was whatever. Who cares? And now all of a sudden, we're getting Houston? It's just funny to me how these three schools now mean so much to the success and the life of the Big 12 and the survival of the Big 12 through a very tough process. Yet these weren't the schools that you gave respect to in the American, but you're so grateful that they saved the Big 12. Well, how can something save the Big 12 if it doesn't have any merit? It doesn't hold any weight. So to give respect to those three schools is to give respect to the American. And on behalf of the American, I will appreciate that respect that they're finally given. So shout out to the American Athletic Conference, our top dog of the week this week, brought to you by Canine Camp Dog Daycare and Canine Kampground Dog Boarding. We'll be back right after this fast break with my conversations with Syracuse Orange football and Syracuse Orange basketball right after this step aside, listening to our great partners in the community. This is Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora from inside the Cafe Kubal studios, and we'll be with you right after this. Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there, and of course you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100, and also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Kampground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Kampground and where your dog will be staying in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Kampground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9Kampground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and Kampground spelled with a K.com. K9Kampground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Kampground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout Central and Upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox. As a patient, what do we want? To be cared for, to be listened to, and to have someone walk us through the process on our path to victory. Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics does all of those things beautifully, with Dr. Mark Petropoli leading the team on 791 West Genesee Street in Skaneateles, New York, located minutes from beautiful Skaneateles Lake. Whatever your injury may be from head to toe, preventative care, rehab, physical therapy, laser therapy, and surgery are all available at Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, where they care about us, they listen to us, and they understand that everyone's path to victory is a little bit different. Let them help you on yours by calling 315-685-7544 to make your appointment today. That's 315-685-7544. And find out more information at victorysportsmedicine.com. Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. Hair hanging out where sports meets that thing called life, and we appreciate you being here with us inside of the Cafe Kubal studios. Cafe Kubal, available to you by going to 3501 James Street, as well as 208 North Townsend Street, 401 South Salina Street, and, of course, you can find them, and those are all in Syracuse. You can also find them by going to Golisano's Children's Hospital, inside of Golisano's Children's Hospital. You can find them there in downtown Syracuse, and, of course, in Manlius on 343 Fayette Street, where we had our show with Jason Leone this week. You can check that out by going to facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, as well as on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. And, of course, many thanks to their awesome drive-through location on the corner of Route 11 and Taft Road in North Syracuse, New York at Sweetheart Corners. So make sure you check out Cafe Kubal there today. With that being said, we're in our final portion of today's broadcast inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin', giving you the list of topics for the day. We are here with Syracuse football and Syracuse basketball on the day where Syracuse fans get to have some fun with the men's and women's basketball team tonight, October 22nd. Ahead of that, I have specials that are never before been seen, featuring the wonderful, wonderful Buddy Boeheim and Bourama Sidibe of Syracuse Orange men's basketball. And this is just the tip of the iceberg for me and the amount of stuff I'm going to be sharing with you when it comes to the ACC and the upcoming basketball season, as well as my conversations with Syracuse's Jim Boeheim, Buddy Boeheim, Bourama Sidibe for the men's side, and on the women's side, Von Reed, the acting head coach, and Christiana Carr and Crislin Carr, all going to be joining Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and you're going to hear from ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips. So a lot of great stuff coming up here where sports meets life. And so without further ado, let's jump into my Syracuse football conversations, as I had the opportunity to speak with two veteran leaders on the team about the departure of Tommy DeVito from the team and more. And here is Airon Servais to start things off on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Airon, for you and Josh Black coming back here and having the want to obviously get that bad taste out of your mouth, leadership-wise, how do you corral the team together when you've had Jarvion and Taj and now Tommy step away?
I think a lot of it is just staying focused on what our job is, and that's to win football games. So I know, in the O-line room, I've said it in many interviews before, it doesn't really matter who's behind us or who's giving us the calls or whatever. We got to do our job up front, and I think that plays a big role, is just staying focused on what the goal is. Did you have an opportunity to speak with Tommy? I know social media-wise, seeing that news and reaching out publicly, but did you have some time with him? And what's kind of the message between two guys that have spent so much time together? Yeah, absolutely. We got a chance to talk. Him and I grabbed lunch the other day. It wasn't anything bad or anything. It's just enjoying some of the things that we've done and just wishing him the best. Garrett Schrader, leadership-wise now, have you seen him kind of maybe walk around with a little bit more on his shoulders? Has he been more vocal? Josh said he's already been a vocal guy kind of normally, but have you seen a change in him with him knowing, hey, Tommy's not behind me anymore, I really do have to carry this thing? Yeah, I don't know if I would say I've really seen a change. I mean, he's always had that leadership mentality, and I think he's done a really good job of taking control of the offense and commanding it. Where does this team go from here? 3 points has separated you from 3 wins in the ACC. How do you bounce back from that? How do you stop it from beating you more than once as you step forward here, knowing that a bowl season is still on the horizon if you do what you need to do? Yeah, I mean, we got to win. We got to stay focused. We can't let these close losses week after week take its toll on us mentally. It's really just about staying focused, staying locked in, and working for that next W. Staying locked in and staying focused, looking for that next W coming from Airon Servais, offensive lineman here on the team. Has played right tackle, has played left tackle, and has played center, and center is where he's currently at here this season as we move forward into game number 8, where Syracuse will face off on the road in Blacksburg against Virginia Tech this upcoming weekend. So a lot of, Airon Servais has been a leader on this team and has brought so much to the team and really has done whatever he's been asked to do. Playing 3 out of 5 positions on the offensive line, that takes a lot and puts a lot on his body. Even Dino talked about the fact that just to get himself ready for the game this past week against Clemson, what he had to do to, get his body prepared. So, Airon Servais is just, he is. He is a professional. He is a hard worker. He is dedicated. He is a lunch pail guy. He is a blue collar guy. And for as long as I've known him,
I have nothing but the utmost respect for him and the work that he puts in and what he does, and I believe that is mutual, and I definitely welcome Airon Servais onto the show anytime. Another guy who I appreciate, respect, and have that mutual feeling with is Josh Black, as I proudly welcome him for a very extended portion of a Wake Up Call one-on-one conversation that you don't want to miss here, where sports meets that thing called life, as I had the opportunity to speak with Josh Black about a lot of different things, and now you get to enjoy them here on Wake Up Call. Tortora, Wake Up Call, Josh Black, D lineman here on the team. Josh, just what you can say through these first 7 games you've learned the most about the team at this point.
Well, I learned the most that, we're not giving up. We're always fighting. Yeah, some things aren't going our way, but that's the game of football. You just got to forgive and also forget, but I end up learning from the experience as well. I mean, you see in these last couple games, we've only been losing by 3 points. That really comes down to who's executing their play calls better, who's making the most plays, and we're just one play away each one of these games. So obviously it's a little bit frustrating, but we know we're right there, and we're always excited to get back to practice and keep continuing to develop.
You decided to come back for this extra season. Being so close, knowing that, you had that bad taste in your mouth from 1 to 10. Where are you now, knowing that the team is right there, and obviously you came back for a reason? Is it frustrating that it's looking better, but it's still not, necessarily turning out as a win?
Yeah, it's a little bit frustrating. We should have a winning record right now for sure, but that's part of the reason I came back. Someone's gonna have to help guide everybody, keep everybody along, because it's hard to stay together when you've been losing by the same situation each game. You start to get tired, you start to get frustrated. But we have to keep cohesive, and that's the big thing right now. We're all together. It's much different than last year. We lose a game, we'd all kind of be frustrated with each other, but now we're building each other up. All right, what can we do better there? What can we do better here? And that's what's different from last year's team opposed to this year's team.
How do you stay focused when you're frustrated?
Well, basically, you just gotta figure out the end goal. What do you want to be? So the way we're looking at it right now, obviously we have a losing record, and the thing is, we can achieve so much. We've seen each other on film. We know what we're capable of, and it's all about being confident. We're really confident in what we do, and we just got to make more plays, and that's how we kind of stay together. We've seen what we can do on film, so let's put it on the field for a whole 60 minutes instead of 48 minutes, 50 minutes. We got to play a whole game, that's what we're working to do.
Cody Roscoe spoke about the fact that the defense starts on fire and you just have to finish. Why does the fire go out a little bit toward the end? What can you say about that?
To be honest, maybe a little. Sometimes things don't go our way. We get bad play calls here and there. Just overall, the offensive guys, again, when we're playing against the offense, they're making plays. Obviously on defense we're making plays. Like I said, we're going out fire, we're having fun, we're out there hitting everything. And sometimes momentum gets taken away from you when they make a spectacular play. So it's like, we're shutting them down all game, and then they get messed around and get like a 40-yard touchdown. It's a little unfortunate when that happens, but at that point you got to regroup and play that one-play mentality. It's, all right, they beat us on this play. They're on scholarship too. They're going to make plays. They're great athletes also. And that's where the one-play mentality comes into play. All right, they got me this play. I'm going to get them next play, and that's what it really comes down to in the end.
Florida State, that game was so close, and defensively he played well against Jordan Travis, and then a couple big runs that he had. When you go back to that game, what do you see defensively on the field? Was it just not finishing? Was it, just mistakes? What did you put that on? Because Syracuse has never won in Tallahassee, and you guys were a couple seconds from potentially doing something like that.
Right, I'd say near the end of the game, we had a couple miscues, maybe a few mental errors that kind of costed us. And with conference games like that, you make one mental error, it might cost you the game. You see this happen the last couple of weeks, and just one miscue is kind of, it just bites you in the butt for sure. You practice it all week in practice, and then you get into the game, you're not fully there sometimes, you're tired. The atmosphere is different. You're on the road. There's a lot of different variables that come into play when you get to near the end of the game. But that's where we got to finish. We got to give the extra 10% effort at the end of the game to make sure that doesn't happen again. Ultimately, Florida State ended up making some great plays on their feet and got them into the field goal range and won them the game.
And then at Wake, you guys were doing what you needed to do a lot of that game, and it was going back and forth, and you fought back, and obviously Sean Tucker made incredible plays as he does. Bring me into the last portion of that game in overtime and how close that one was as well.
Right. So if you know anything about Syracuse, we're a big overtime team. We feel like we're always going to beat the other team in overtime. And we're playing very, very solid defense. We have a great game plan going on. We're shutting down the run. And, they're starting to throw the ball in the air more. That's where kind of they got their more yards and touchdowns and more plays from. And, just being in overtime right there, I really felt like we were going to get them. But, when the quarterback makes a spectacular throw and the wide receiver makes a spectacular catch, there's not much you can do about it. There's pressure on the quarterback. We're playing great coverage, too. And, it's just one of those plays like, oh, man, we just got beat, right there. That's athlete versus athlete. That's a bang-bang situation. It can go one way, it can go the other. And, the ball didn't roll our way definitely that game. But, going throughout the entire game, there were a couple plays that we wanted back as a defense, but we just got to keep getting better, keep forgetting about those plays because it might come to get you later in the season too. So it's always something to keep in the back of your mind for sure.
And then Clemson, DJ Uyunglele comes in and all of the hype that Clemson always has at the beginning of the season, and you guys played them down to the wire and kept that close. I mean, what did you see from that game? And then secondly, what do you want to say about Andre Schmidt? Because I think people are maybe looking at him from a snapshot point of view and forgetting the fact that he's made plenty of field goals and plenty of tough situations.
In my opinion, it should never have to come down to the last play of the game, the last field goal. You should never have to pin the game on one person. You look at the entire game, and I hear a lot of people commenting about, it's Andre's fault that we lost. They're nowhere near the case. How are you going to blame one person? If we would have defended them out the end zone, we wouldn't have this problem, right? If we didn't give up the 14 points, this would not be, this would not be a situation going into that, into the last game. To the last drive, and just things like that. Yeah, it's just. Overall, we should have just executed throughout the entire game better. It had nothing to do with him. It was just one of those things that happening. Sometimes it happens on the defensive side of the ball. We run the wrong play sometimes. On the offensive side of the ball, sometimes everybody's not on the same page. And just overall, that game comes down to the nitty-gritty details that we got to focus on to get better.
Offense, defense, and special teams, when you put it all together, losing all 3 ACC games by 3 points apiece, how do you stop the bleeding now and not let a loss or 3 losses make you lose again? You talked about that, like not holding on to something that you didn't like because it can get you later on. How do you close the gap now?
Well, we just got to look forward from here. Obviously, we're looking back at film, but not from how we lost, but just from a schematic standpoint, technique and things like that. We're looking back on that, but not like how we lost. Just keeping everything in front of us. We know the sky's the limit. We got a lot of young talent on this team, and we know what we can do with it. We also have a lot of older talent too, and just not getting caught up in the hype because there's a lot of media going on, like, Syracuse, isn't this Syracuse, isn't that? No one's in this facility except for us. We're practicing, we're watching film, we're going to rehab, all this stuff to make sure to make sure we give a great appearance for the fans. That's our number one priority, is trying to make the fans, feel appreciated. We're working our tails off for them to make sure we get some wins and make sure they feel good as well as we do when we win. So, definitely we have a lot of dip on our chip for sure, but it's not nothing we're not used to around at Syracuse. We're always the underdogs. We know what everybody's saying about us. It's how to stay positive and confident while all this stuff is happening to us.
How do you stay positive and confident? How do you shut out the outside? I always say outside noise by definition belongs outside. Right. So how do you keep it outside, and how do you keep the focus and not really care about the opinions of people that are not in this program?
So the way that I think about it is your situation could always be worse. Yeah, right now we're 3-4. We could be 0-7. It could be always way worse. We're waking up every day. We're blessed to be here. By the grace of God, we're blessed to wake up. We're blessed to have practice. We're blessed to be with our brothers every day and get better every single day. Some people don't have that opportunity. Sometimes their clock runs out. You never know when your time is gone off this earth, and that's something you got to take every day, day by day. And it's just something that I feel like we, as a whole team, take really account of that. Because after this season, the team's never going to be the same. We have a lot of guys leaving, a lot of our older guys, and it's never going to be composed of the same guys on this team. So we're taking everything day by day and making sure we get the most out of it.
With Tommy DeVito, moving forward, I want to make sure that I spoke with you today because you're one of the vets on this team and you've spent a lot of time with Tommy. Did he speak with you? Did he speak with the team at all? And what was it like to find out the news?
I mean, it was a little bit, it was a little bit of surprise for me. But obviously, I understand his situation. He's a grown man. He needs to do what he needs to do for sure. And I got no remorse from love the kid that I'll do whatever for that man. I mean, he's, we've been through it all, the summer workouts and joking around, things like that. And I'm always gonna be a Tommy DeVito fan for sure. I'm gonna follow his career path. But it all comes down to what he needed to do to be, the player he wanted to be, and just how the situation kind of shook out and things that happened. And I'm going to support whatever he does. I mean, I was on Twitter when I saw it. My heart kind of just dropped. I was like, oh man, Tommy's my guy. Like, I'll do anything for him. And him just not being here, just kind of just didn't feel right with me coming into the facility. It's like, oh man, Tommy D isn't here. I mean, just his overall attitude and the way he carries himself. It felt like a little bit of a little aspect was kind of missing from the locker room for sure. And it's just making sure we're progressing from that, because obviously it's like, oh, you see Tommy transfer, like oh man, our mood is going to be mellow, but that's not the case. We know what we have to do, and we just keep moving on from that.
Not only Tommy, but Jarvion Howard, Taj Harris. How do you stay focused, and when there's adversity on the field and then adversity off the field? I feel like it's not spoken about enough that in the locker room, when somebody's not there, be it injury or transfer or whatever, you feel that. So how do you not let that get to this team, the fact that 3 of your brothers are gone?
Right, so it's definitely a double whammy. Like you said, it's on the field and off the field, especially with them being impact players. They're really good players for us too, and for them to transfer, it's like, oh man, like it's kind of a little hitting the head a little bit. Like you look at the locker room, their locker is all cleaned out. Like that's the one that gets you the most. Their name tag is off the locker. Their locker's fully clean. It's like, oh man, one of my brothers, he's transferred. But we all know it's in their best interest. So that's where we're really positive about things. They would want us to do the right thing that we felt comfortable with, and so we're going to support them whatever they do too. And it's next man up mentality. When one person can't go, the next man up is. It could create a better possibility. It could create also better practice habits for the guys who didn't get as much reps as they want to in practice, and overall, it helps the team grow for sure when adversity happens like that.
What's been Dino's message with the transferring portion of this, and of course the team at 3 and 4? What's been his message? What's kind of resonating with you, maybe?
Just stay focused. I know it sounds cliche, but like we've been talking about, it's easy to get distracted with off the field issues, and then from guys in your program transferring out. I mean, you could let it affect you, and then you could go on the practice field playing slow, just be thinking about too many things at once when we got a great task at hand. I mean, the way that ACC is this year, anybody can win any game. There's no huge top dog that's blowing everyone out by 80 points and things like that. So, the ACC is definitely shaking up this year. It's definitely up for grabs, and we could mess around and win the rest of these games. Like everything is possible at this point. I mean, just look at our games we played this year. No one was expecting them to be this close a game, but obviously we want to win. But it's just how the game of football works. When teams get to win, when teams get to lose. You both learn from both situations, whether win or lose, but you learn more from losing, and that's why I'm really confident going into these last couple weeks of the season, knowing that what we did wrong and how we can fix them.
Have you seen a change in Garrett Schrader as a leader on this team? With Tommy leaving, is there more on his shoulders? Has he gotten more serious? Has he gotten more vocal? I mean, now that he's the guy, how have you seen him maybe adjust to that, or has he changed at all?
So he's always been a vocal guy. He's always expressed what he saw on the field, what he saw off the field, which I really think highly of Garrett Schrader for sure. But overall on the field, I see him being way more confident with the ball in his hands. I see him just overall just playing way faster than the first couple of weeks when he was in a little bit, and now he's making plays all over the field. He's so fun to watch. It's like watching a Madden game. Like he's like Michael Vick or something, just running around everybody. He's a great athlete, and practicing against him, brings the defense a lot of experience as well, because going to Virginia Tech, we're playing a dual threat quarterback also, really fast, can escape out the pocket just like Florida State. And so, having this awareness is going to help us out for sure down the line.
Are you doing 1v1s in practice? Is your defense getting a shot at Schrader in them?
Right now, we're not, because just in case something happens, God forbid something happens, knock on wood, just in case someone maybe rolls an ankle, doing all the extra stuff and things like that. But we're always keeping it cognizant. We're doing a lot of different drills to make sure the quarterbacks don't get out the pocket, things of that nature. Trying to play it safe, but also keep the intensity up.
Is that a nice way of saying that you would put a lick on somebody if you had to?
if it came down to it, yes, definitely. But yeah, we're keeping everybody up right now. Make sure everyone's healthy going into this game. Make sure that we can give Virginia Tech our best possible outcome.
Thanks, Josh. As always, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Cafe Cabal Mobile Cafe brings the cafe experience to you. We'll roll out to your neighborhood or office, ready to serve our locally crafted espresso bar to our loyal patrons. Inquire at cafecabal.com. Cafe Cabal, coffee for the soul.
This is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge, and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item, available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, located on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, is home to over 40 flavors with more than 200 flavors in their total wheelhouse. Sky's the limit for this sweet and savory Central New York company. Keep it local at your parties, fundraisers, wedding showers, baby showers, and more by calling 315-450-MA-PA. That's 315-450-6272 for popcorn bars with custom flavors and colors at your upcoming event. Make sure to visit them on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. And for more information, go to maandpassnacks.com. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
Here at Progressive Dental, we understand the importance of regular dental visits and preventive care. Cleanings and checkups are essential to good oral health. We have multiple locations in the Southern Tier, so come visit us in Binghamton, Enwell, Kirkwood, Montrose, and Norwich. For self-pay non-insured patients, we offer the Smile Plan, which covers all of your cleanings, x-rays, and exams for an affordable yearly price. Call 607-754-2273 or 607-754-CARE to make an appointment today. For more information, visit our website at progressivedentalny.com.
The Millhouse Market, located on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York, is worth the drive every time. Make sure you make your way out to the Millhouse Market today and every Tuesday through Sunday. They are closed on Mondays, so make sure you make it out there Tuesday through Sunday for their homemade breads, desserts, quinoa bowls, rice bowls, as well as their salads, their brick oven pizzas, and their sandwiches named after the families that helped to settle today's Pulaski, ingrained in our community and ingrained in our taste buds. The Millhouse Market, open there for you with their general store with local products from local companies, their drive-up window where you don't have to leave your car, grab your food, and go. And, of course, their indoor dining. So many amazing, amazing things about the Millhouse Market coming to you today and all throughout the week on 3790 New York 13 in Pulaski, New York. With that being said, here, as you heard from Josh Black and Airon Servais, it's now time to jump into my basketball coverage. And there is so much coming up. I am so excited and so happy to be able to be saying that, basketball season's back. I love football season. I love basketball season. It's crazy, though, the basketball season, there's going to be our first game, exhibition game. Syracuse next Wednesday, October 27th, is going to be having their game against Pace in the Dome, and there's going to be 4 more Syracuse football games to play after that. Oh, and so now it seems like they're actually crossing a lot earlier. I feel like in the past, it felt like they crossed for like the last 2 Syracuse football regular season games, and now it's right after week 5 or right after right after the 8th game here, and going forward from there. So, the team is 3-4, so they played 7, and they'll play their 5th to last game is what I meant. That's where the 5 came from. I knew I'd get there. So, but that coming up against Virginia Tech. So kind of weird how quickly things are happening, and but at the same time, it's great to see these teams coming back. So tuning in live now to the unveiling of my one-on-one specials with Buddy Boeheim and Bourama Sidibe, which I'm very, very excited to be sharing with you this morning on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets that thing called life. We're going to start with Bourama here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and with that being said, we will go right into that conversation with the man that decided to come back to Syracuse. He has dealt with leg injuries throughout his career. I am praying to God for this gentleman. I've gotten to know over the years that not only does he have a full season, but he has a full healthy season. He goes out there, he kicks butt. More than anything else, I want him to be healthy. I want him to be well. I want him to be dressed and ready to play, and I hope that he has a fantastic season coming off of that. Here's my conversation with Bourama Sidibe to you from ACC tip-off that nobody has ever seen, and nobody got to be a part of this. It was just Bourama and I, and I'm happy to unveil it to you. Dan Tortora here with Bourama Sidibe in front of the tip-off signings. We're down here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Bourama, just what it feels like to be back after obviously dealing with some injury last year.
It feels great to be back. It feels great to be around with the teammate and have practice with them. That's a great feeling. You can't change anything for that.
Knowing that there was a free year given as well due to the COVID year and all of that, do you feel like this can be maybe a fresh restart for you? That the world kind of had a very interesting season last season that you didn't really get to play in?
I wouldn't say fresh restart, I think, but it's a great opportunity not just for me, but all the college students who wants to come in for extra years who didn't feel like they did good or they did good in the good of seasons, and they can come back and do something big, be a part of something big that they didn't achieve last year. So,
did you think at all about leaving, or was it always if you were healthy enough to come back to Syracuse?
I wasn't thinking that during the season. What my most important thing during the season was I was trying to get healthy as soon as possible to go out there and help my teammates, but eventually it didn't go my way. And at the end of the season, coach talked to me. He thinks that with good option I should come back for one more year, and I believe that word. I said, okay, I'm going to give a try and come back for one more year.
Frank Anselm and Jesse Edwards, what did they do that you got to watch and see last season?
I mean, Frank is a great athlete, and he's one of the happy guys in the team that he always working hard. He working hard. You're gonna see somebody that you're gonna see a great athlete this year, and Jesse, he keep improving every day, getting better, getting stronger, and he's being there. You know what it takes to be there. I think he's ready to go.
Can we expect to see all three of you out there?
You never know what coach gonna do. It's Coach Boeheim. No one knows what he's gonna do. I haven't done. I've been here for a year. I don't know what he's gonna do. So whatever he do, whatever he asks me to do, I'm just gonna go there, do my job. If you ask me just go rebound, I'm gonna go do that. If you ask me something else to do, I'm just gonna go do that.
How's the body feeling now? Where are you at compared to Where have you been the last couple of years?
Buddy?
Yeah, body-wise.
I think Buddy got a lot of better, and his shooting definitely getting better every day.
Oh.
And I think he adds some more to this game. You know, he's trying to make a plays for other players. He's trying to pass more often than he used to last couple of years, which is great.
Yeah, no, it's your body.
My
no,
body.
yeah. No, that's fine.
My body feeling good. You know, I can't complain. I'm a type of guy. I'm always in the weight room with Ryan, getting my upper body right and my lower body sometimes. You know, so my body's feeling good so far.
How are your legs? Because I know you've dealt with injuries really since you've gotten to Syracuse. So how are you feeling there?
I'm feeling fine. You know, it's just a process. I take day by day, never look like, oh, what I'm gonna do tomorrow, what I'm gonna do next day. I don't look at that way, I just go by day. If today I'm feeling all right, I'm gonna see tomorrow, I'm gonna make sure I feel way better than that. Never negative, it's always positive stuff. So.
How has Brad Pike and the staff helped you to get better and get healthy enough to get back on the court?
I mean, Brad has been a great resource for me. Since I've been there, he's always trying to help me be able to stay healthy. And even this year, went home, come back, same things, helping me out every day. And Coach Alan Griffin is always look after me. So always ask me if I don't feel good, I don't have to be out there. He's making sure every day I'm healthy. He always put my health first before basketball, which is I appreciate that a lot. So.
And now let's talk about Buddy. Just what you could say about being here at the tip-off with him. I know you guys got to mess around a little bit and have some fun.
I mean, Buddy's one of the nicest guys I've ever been around with. He's always positive, but I think in his game he's getting a lot of better. As I say, shooting getting better every year. So he's adding more to his game, driving and keeping the open guys, which is good. So hopefully he can pass me some love this year. So.
You got 3 Boeheims on one team.
Yeah.
You got Buddy, you got Jimmy coming in, you got obviously your head coach Jim Boeheim, and Buddy has told me that Julie Boeheim is basically a coach there too. She's there all the time. So what's it like having a team filled with Boeheims?
I think it feels great. You know, like they earned that story. Coach been there for a long time. He earned that special time this year. So having your two son in your team, it doesn't get anything better than that. And I know a lot of people would say that, oh, they close son, that's why they're there. No, I think Buddy works really hard to get in that position. So then Jimmy's coming, you know what it takes to win. He's been around the good teams, he's been around a good team, and I think Jimmy's a good player too. He knows how to pass the ball. It's like Morag, you know, they're gonna find a way and get guys open, so which is good.
Losing guys like Kadari Richmond and Quincy Guerrier, what was that like for you to have some of those guys move on?
I mean, I think losing Kadari was a big one, because Kadari is a guy, he's going to make everyone around him better. As we all see that he's going to drive, find open guys, or he's going to finish it. But you know, sometimes that's how I feel. Like if guys don't feel like what they want to be, it's okay to move on. You know, like Kadari is a great guy. I know, like me and Kadari, he was a freshman last year. I was senior. We had a lot of talk and stuff like that. I like that. He's a great guy. And Quincy, same thing. When Quincy first came here, we used to speak French all the time. And Q is also a great guy. I think losing these 2 guys really take a lot to replace. But eventually we will find somebody to fill in their shoes, which is going to be hard, but we'll see.
Yeah, Samir Torrance coming in with Jimmy Boeheim and Cole Swider. What's it like having Cole and Samir in, since you've talked about Jimmy a little bit?
Yes, Cole is a great guy. He works super hard. You can go to the gym early in the morning, he's there already sweating and stuff like that. He's a great shooter. He shoot as much good as Buddy. I think both, you can say, somebody can say Buddy shoot better than him. Other people can say Cole shoot better. Both of them shoot, he's a great shooter. And Samir is a great guy, great personality. He works so hard, play great defense, trying to make everybody open. Whenever he got the ball, he looks to pass first, which is good. So, and he's trying to make most of people open. And he's a great guy. He's a great competitor.
And lastly, getting asked to be a part of this with Buddy to represent Syracuse for the whole country, just what it meant to you that Jim wanted you to do this?
I mean, I think it meant everything to me since I've been here for years. Last year supposed to be Moroccan. Last year was on online stuff like that. Being here and see different teams, what they're doing here is a great feeling, and it's something that I will never forget about it. And coming here, I didn't know. I was like, should I come or shouldn't come? And I came now, I see the reality of it, and I think it's a great feeling. It's something that you always want to remember.
And coming from Bourama Sidibe, asked to be a part of the representation of Syracuse University men's basketball at the ACC tip-off, which I was at down in Charlotte when I had the opportunity to do these specials and save these moments for you all. And this week is going to be incredible. It's going to be intense. It's going to be awesome. I am so excited for what's coming up this week. All 15 ACC schools will be covered here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. The coaches and the players are going to be joining me here from all 15 institutions, which means a lot to me, and I'm very excited about. So all of them going to be joining us here where sports meets life. Of course, Syracuse will be joining me from the ACC, and you'll get to hear from Jim Boeheim, more from Bourama Sidibe and from Buddy Boeheim. You'll also get to hear from Wake Forest, NC State, Clemson, Florida State, Louisville, Boston College, Pittsburgh, Virginia, North Carolina, Georgia Tech, Duke, Miami, Virginia Tech, and, of course, Notre Dame. So a lot of great stuff coming up on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora this coming week. And before that, I got one more little nugget for you. This is my one-on-one conversation with Buddy Boeheim. Again, just like with Bourama, nobody has this because this was my time with Buddy away from where we were in the typical interview room. So a very special moment with Buddy Boeheim that I get to share with you here. And this is from me to you. Hey, Buddy, here with Dan Tortora of Wake Up Call. Your dad, your brother, it's Boeheim cubed now at the Dome and in general, and now your mom's even involved. So just what you could say about this very special, unique moment in the world.
Oh man, it's just such a blessing to be here with my brother now, joining me, growing up with him, being someone I looked up to as a role model, not just on the court but off the court, always being a great student as well as a great brother, giving me that competitive edge, never letting me beat him in anything, and now we get to share the court together, and it's just been a great experience so far. We hold each other accountable every day. We expect the best out of each other, and we have a mom who's just as into it as we are, asking us every day how practice is, how Jimmy's doing, how's Dad, and it's a lot of fun, and we're just enjoying every moment and not taking it for granted.
And your dad, 46th year now, and Coach K, how close they've been. Just what Coach K's meant to your family, and knowing that this is his last go-around, so when you play Duke, this will be it for that Coach K Boeheim.
Yeah, not just Coach K, but his whole family. They're family for us. His grandsons, or Michael, who he coaches, is someone I'm very close with over the years, going to 3 Olympics with them, and him and my dad's relationship is unbelievable to see and watch the greatness they both have. Coach K is one of the greatest coaches in all of sports, and it's been an honor to play against him, and to see what he's been able to do these last, so many years has been really inspiring, awesome to watch, and I'll never forget playing against him and the memories we have.
And coming from Buddy Boeheim, talking about how close Coach K is to his family, Coach K's family, obviously Coach K of Duke, and to the Boeheims at Syracuse and that connection that they have. So a lot of great stuff here coming up, and that's just a little taste. Bourama, a little taste, Buddy, a little taste. A lot of stuff coming up here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Going to have a lot of fun with this. Make sure you stay close to us on all of our awesome channels because you'll be able to watch these videos instantaneously now, and I'm going to be adding some other stuff to the archives. You can check out Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on the archives by simply going to, and we share the links on Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, Twitter at Call DT, and Instagram at Wake Up Call _DT. So if you're connected with me on any of those, you'll be able to get these as well. But you can go directly Spotify as well as MixLR, YouTube, and iTunes and Apple Podcasts, and you can get my connection there with you in so many different ways with the library that we have, the vast library of Wake Up Call, and you don't want to miss any of that. So definitely make sure that you check that out and see us on there. Search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT on Stitcher, Spotify, MixLR, YouTube, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Podbean, and TuneIn, among others. A big shout out to all of our awesome partners, Cafe Kubal, Carvel DeWitt, Wildcat Sports Pub, Progressive Dental, Ma & Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, K9 Camp Dog Daycare, Avicoli's, K9 Kampground Dog Boarding, PB&J's Lunchbox, Lemoyne Dolphins, Pizza Man, Honda City of Liverpool, Millhouse Market, Victory Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, and Mother's Cupboard. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is the proud multimedia marketing partner of the Lemoyne Dolphins. Fins up, baby. And make sure you check out every Wednesday, and that is Dolphin Time, every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. On the first and third Wednesdays of every single month, we feature AD and DT, where Lemoyne Athletics Director Bob Beretta joins me for a specific topic. For every episode, we have something that we focus in on with AD and DT, and you can check that out every Wednesday, every first and third Wednesday of the month at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, exclusively on Wake Up Call, and every second and fourth Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, you'll get Dolphin Dive, where I had the opportunities to speak with student athletes and other people connected to the sports programs around the Lemoyne Dolphins. So make sure that you hang out with us on Dolphin Time. Check out the Lemoyne tab that you can find for the Lemoyne Dolphins on wakeupcalldt.com, which has the composite schedule, so you can get every single game's information right there of all the sports that they carry at Lemoyne, and you can also check out more at LemoyneDolphins.com. Multimedia marketing partnerships extended also out to Marywood University. Marywood University, a proud multimedia marketing partner of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and Dan Tortora Broadcast Media. The Marywood University Pacers are on Wake Up Call every single month as well, starting this month of October. And we've had the opportunity to speak with Executive Director of Athletics, Pat Murphy, as well as do an ode to the season following the opening of practice for Marywood Women's Basketball with head coach Jen Carlton and Marywood Men's Basketball with head coach Enrico Mastriani. So much coming up with the Pacers on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Stay close, as Pacer Pride comes to you every single month exclusively here through our multimedia marketing partnership in a very special way. With that being stated, once again on Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, Twitter at Call DT, and Instagram at Wake Up Call_DT. Make sure you get involved with us, like us, follow, and do all the good stuff so you don't miss a single moment of anything when it comes to Wake Up Call. And of course, make sure you bookmark us on wakeupcalldt.com and on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt. Make sure that you hit subscribe. I look forward to speaking with you all and having a lot of fun with you. My birthday continues this birthday weekend, and I'm very excited for what this weekend may hold for me. I appreciate my blessings. I appreciate you, and I look forward to talking with you all very soon. For now, this is Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, and coming up this week, you will have an incredible connection to the ACC and the American Athletic Conference in a truly special way. So make sure you stay tuned, stay close. A lot of specials coming your way on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where we do things differently. Shout out to Carvel DeWitt for the annoying moment of the week, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay for lead, the top dog of the week, which is the American Athletic Conference and their expansion to 6 new teams. Brought to you by K9 Camp Dog Daycare and K9 Kampground Dog Boarding, honoring the American Athletic as our top dog of the week, as they've added North Texas as well as Rice, UTSA, UAB, Charlotte, adding all of those institutions in FAU. So big shout out to each of them, and a big thanks to Airon Servais and Josh Black for spending some time with me of Syracuse football, and Buddy Boeheim and Bourama Sidibe of spending some time with me from Syracuse men's basketball. A lot of great stuff coming up. I hope you have a great day and a great weekend. God bless to each of you. From the Cafe Kubal Studios, this is Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You are amazing, and I'll talk with you soon. God bless, no stress, do your best. For the first time coming to you, or the second time, I should say, coming to you as a 36-year-old, thank you for all the birthday wishes. Thank you for all the kindness, and God bless to you.